And have it what? Still swing out?
Yeah, it would have to swing out, but because of like that door and like because book frame's gonna be like this wide,
Right.
so it might only open to like here, so it might be hard getting stuff in and out, bigger stuff. One day, and if it's not this house, maybe the next house. But yeah, dude, I want secret rooms. I want like
Sounds fun,
pull the candle thing down and then go in. That's.
Did you ever watch that show Webster when you were a little kid?
Oh yeah.
Secret little.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, one day that's my goal, but.
Okay, you go before me.
This is like part one of the collection or stuff.
Wow. I gotta make sure. These are like all just like set lists.
Yeah.
Wow. Of like you got them from the shows.
Oh yeah. Dude, I've been collecting set lists since like I don't even know how old. Probably one of the oldest, which I don't even have it up here on the wall. I don't think it's like Guar. When I was like 19.
Wow.
I had friends that used to go to like punk rock shows and get them. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I used to go to metal shows and get them because nobody cared. Now it's like a big deal, but back then it never was.
Right.
It's like that wall behind, those are like all photos I took or I'm in.
Aww. Oh my God, look at you with the short hair and the beard.
Yeah, I still need to get more printed out from like the recent tour, but eventually I want to fill up this whole wall. Some of those of Metallica, I had glass in there, but like I doctored the frames because I didn't like the hooks on the back. Mm-hmm. So I hot glued them, and I came home one day, and it was super hot out, and the glue melted off, and like 5 frames all fell, and the glass broke, so that's why some of them have scratches on them. But yeah, one day I want to fill that whole wall up, which is like, like dude, from like this like last 5 years of tours, dude, I have so many photos I can put.
Yeah.
But.
Wow, it's crazy. Wow. Oh my God. We need to get all our stuff framed up.
Dude, framing is super, super expensive. Well, so it depends on how you do it.
Right.
Like some of those set lists are just cheap dollar frames because whatever, it's cool, it works.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, the S&M thing took me forever to frame because I was like, oh, it has to be perfect, and then how do I get the drumsticks in there? And
that's so cool. You got drumsticks.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, like Stage U set list, and then I had Rob sign that when he came to Cleveland. And that photo was like me right over Lars's head from his Instagram.
Yeah, that's so cool. We were there with you for the 50th.
Yep.
Were you with us for our 50th? Ours was in Albany.
No, I was not.
Oh, this poster. I love this poster.
Yeah,
that was
one's
so
great.
Cool. Mm-hmm. That was like a major hit. Everybody wanted it.
That's funny because I still have a few posters and I have nowhere to hang right now. Because I was like, oh, they have to be good ones to hang up on my wall because now I'm running out of space.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Same for us.
Even
though we haven't hung any yet, but yeah.
This is such a cool room. Just like, I never even would have guessed this was here like this.
Yeah, originally this was going to be like my old bedroom. Mm-hmm. So like this whole wall, before I turned it into all these posters, I literally had concert flyers and like, flyers like I ripped off the wall at concerts that I re-stapled in a wall like a rock club would have. But then I'm like, oh, I need the wall space. So I had to take it all down and start hanging the posters.
Wow. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someday we'll get all our stuff together.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Were you into Pantera first or Metallica first?
Definitely Metallica first, but then Metallica came out with like Load. Pantera came out the one album that I really liked. And it was kind of like, during the Load era, it was kind of like, I still loved Metallica, but I listened to all the older stuff. Mm-hmm. So then I went back to Pantera. Like, Pantera was like my shit.
Yeah.
All through high school, though, it was like Pantera, White Zombie, and Metallica. Like, I really couldn't pick a favorite at that point because all three were very... I mean, my name is Trend Killer on everything because of Pantera, so... Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
What's the Nixon poster from?
That was where they did those Nixon watches.
Right.
And they put it out.
Dates are a lot of the black ticket dates.
Those are that's all of them. So
yeah.
Val bought that, and they sold them in the, what is it, 60 edition of 60. So Val bought 2 of them. She gave me one for my birthday that year when we were on tour in Tulsa. And she's like, yeah, she's like, I know it says Nixon, but I like the artwork. The artwork's awesome. And she's like, I thought it was cool because it had all the black ticket dates on it, or from our tour. So I was like, yeah, it's the only poster to have them all.
That is really cool.
I want to redo like the official tour poster, but I want to recreate it using all my photos that I took on the tour, and then have all the dates, and then like either I can list all the dates and add a marker check mark for all the ones that I did, or just only list all the ones that I did. But I think I'll probably list all the dates and then check mark all the ones that I did. But my stuff to go through all my photos.
Ours is easy to figure out because we only didn't do the 2 in Canada. We did all of the shows except those 2.
Yeah. So that's super easy. I didn't do those. There was like, I think I was like 7 behind you guys. There was only 7 I did.
And we didn't intend it to be that way.
Yeah, neither did I. I was originally going to do 10 shows.
Yeah,
and then
we were
I figured
like
15.
We're like, all we have to do is hit like 4
And then my
we
boss
break
basically
even.
was like, oh, why don't you do more? Jokingly. And I'm like, oh, okay. Since you're giving me the okay.
Is that blackened from the contest thing? The cup.
The cup and the t-shirt and the hat and...
We got a little teeny blackened sticker.
Yeah?
It's like a little teeny one.
Yeah. Yeah. I wear the hat all the time. The hat I wear daily.
Yeah,
I like the hat.
That's my favorite.
Pete wears the hat a lot too. Where is it?
The blackened sticker.
Yeah.
Ours is like that.
Not that big.
Not that big?
No, it's not that big.
No.
We got a little teeny one.
Well, guys have penis envy. Now we've got sticker envy.
Did you ever see these? Or see the So What? Or Say About True Single? With like the little hype sticker. What's it say? It's like, track 2 on this cassette contains the words fucking 2 times.
Yeah.
Cunt, cock, fucker, sucked, ass, jack, scabs, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Super
Isn't
cool.
it so funny how like I'm not gonna say the C word, but the C word it's like okay in other places, but not okay here. Like it's so weird that is.
I was on the hunt for that single. Couldn't find it. I finally bit the bullet, paid more than I should have for one. And then over the next 2 months, I got 2 more. I'm like, oh, sweet. But then I noticed variations with them. Val's like, you fucking nerd. Like, yeah. So, yeah, this is all the Met Club, like shift knobs, glasses.
Right.
Like, I have almost all the glasses, regular editions. Like, I never cared so much about the prototype glasses and all that stuff.
I love the yellow one.
The Fuel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I only need the orange one of those.
Oh, I think we might have an orange one.
I think it's one we don't have also.
And then, then there's 2 versions of the glow-in-the-dark one, which are cool. I got all the Jump in the Fires except for the glow-in-the-dark.
I like that Frankenstein looking one.
The Kirk Hammett?
Yeah.
Yeah, these ones were the ones that I won all 3 of them.
Wow.
The scary guys from the, that Hatfield thing in the green room.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, like this one was signed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And it's cool. That was my favorite color. I have like Slipknot, like before they became big. I saw them at Ozfest the one year. Like I didn't even know who they were. They went on at like noon.
Right.
And then the band jumped off the stage. I'm like, wow, these guys are awesome. And they were just like handing out like, cassette tapes. Like, oh, here.
Oh, that's cool.
So I got, this is like signed by the whole band in like 99. Wow. It was like the debut album wasn't even out yet. Street date, June 29th.
Wow.
Like, super cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. Pete loves Slipknot too.
Here's Dave Mustaine's bullet belt.
Like his actual one he wore?
Oh, yeah, I bought it from him.
What? Like, you just like say, hey, can I buy that
Well,
from you?
no, he was doing an auctioning off all the Megadeth backdrops and guitars. And I'm like, dude, I can never afford that stuff. But I always thought of Mustaine with the bullet belt. So I emailed him like, hey, do you have any bullet belts? They're like, we'll get back to you. And they're like, yeah, we have 3 of them. 2 of them are like newer, covered in like silver or platinum.
Right.
But I'm like, no, dude, I want the old one. So, and like we'll do that one a little cheaper because it's missing a bullet. I'm like, oh, that makes it cooler.
Sure. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, super cool. I'm like, dude, like, how the
He's...
This is like during his heroin days, I think.
Oh my God.
So like, you like feel that, like it's like super, like it's straight up ammo, man. You know, it's like awesome. So, yeah, super cool. Yeah, super random. I'm like,
that is
fucking bullet belt.
Yeah, you're not gonna find that in someone else's house.
That is random.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they sent me like a here's a certificate of authenticity. I got the shipping box from Megadeth and.
So are you a big Megadeth fan too?
Yeah, I like Megadeth. They high school, they probably in my top 5. They still might be. I don't listen to them as much anymore, but like the old stuff, like all the new stuff though, some of it just doesn't resonate as as much with me, but still cool. Yeah, I'm just random shit. Passive. So like me and Mike Mueller.
Aww.
Like, he's been trying to come up with something like, dude, we gotta do a trade for his Color Our World Blackened. So I'm like, yeah, all right, what am I gonna trade this dude and whatever? And then we were talking the one day, and I'm like, oh, you're in St. Louis. I'm like, did you ever hear of blah, blah, blah venue? He's like, don't tell me you have it. So, like, I have this ticket stub. Reflections. And here, this is the only ticket stub Mike doesn't have from St. Louis of Metallica. He's been looking for one.
And he went to that show?
I don't remember if he went. No, I don't think he went to this one, but he still wants the ticket stub or something because it's by him, and so he has all the other ones from St. Louis. I'm like, dude, well, since you know this concert, I'm like, let me show you something else. So then we were talking, and so this ticket stub then is signed by 3 of the guys on the back.
Wow.
Lars, Kirk, and James.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's super cool. And he's like, dude, I know a guy that had one of those. And then we were talking, and I'm like, yeah, well, Cliff didn't sign it because the guy couldn't find it because he was a stoner and was stoned. So he had Cliff sign his pack of rolling papers. So that's a pack of rolling papers signed by Cliff.
Right.
Oh
and Mike was like, dude, I know a guy that has one of those too. Is this guy's name blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, no. But me and Mike are talking, and I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I gotta go check. So I come up here, and so I can look at this box, and this box is where I got that ticket stub and that rolling pack papers, and it's just Scott Moritz that Mike asked me about, and I'm like, that was him, and I'm like, Mike, holy shit. He's like, oh no, don't even tell me. He's like, you have the banner? And I'm like, wait, how do you know about the banner? He's like, you have the banner?
Oh my God.
And so like, Mike Mueller, like, has known about this banner for like 25, 30 years because he knew this dude. And Mike said he reached out to him like 5 or 6 years ago and asked about the banner. And the guy's like, oh, you don't even want to know what happened to it. So Mike thought he got damaged in a fire or something like that. But yeah, so Mike was friends with this guy. And so I ended up with the fucking banner. Oh, it's upside down.
Oh my God.
Yeah, super cool. Like, dude, I love it. Like,
That is so
signed
cool.
by Cliff, James,
Oh my God.
Lars, Kirk. Super cool. And like, dude.
Wow, it's like a whole nother house down here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, a Kiss pinball machine?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That was like one of the prized possessions at one point. I mean, it still is. But like getting that was like, oh man, yeah, I got one.
That is cool.
1978. So yeah, like, so this shirt, like 83 tour shirt, like that was like one of the first old shirts I got. And I remember Summer Sanitarium, 03? Yeah, 03 in Detroit. So it was like the first U.S. show with Rob, like, outside of like the first couple appearances that they did. It was like the first real show. I remember I took that to almost hang it up like a banner, hold it up. super cool. I mean, it's hard to see, but it's like
I see it a little bit large.
Like Kirk was cool. Like
James.
yeah, the James is cool because it's like such like a wide like he was like developing that autograph at the time. But then Kirk was like, yeah, man, X marks the spot. So that was from Kirk.
Oh,
and then yeah, like I'll never forget that. The old school business card.
That's cool.
I love that.
That's so cool.
Yeah. That record, I think this one is cool. Let me see if I did the light if you can see any better. No. So like this record's super cool. Like they all signed it, but the pen ran out for James and Lars.
Oh, that's funny.
So like you could see like Lars's impression like super good if you look right at the right angle. Same with James, but like Cliff and Kirk are cool.
I see like the 85.
Yeah, vodka 85 and like I think James was.
Oh yeah, I see impression right
yeah,
there.
so like it's cool. Like
says,
as a display thing, it says, "Oh, it's not." I mean, it is. The pen ran out because they used ballpoint pen on the record. Like this one is cool, but it's like missing Kirk or missing Cliff.
Mm.
I like that one. This one's cool. Like this was signed Puppets tour in Cleveland.
Jeez.
I got that from like a local dude.
That's cool.
Like this was. Remember, I told you I sold that shirt to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I had two. Like I bought one, paid a good amount of money for it, nowhere near what I sold one to Joe for, but then got another one for like $40. So I had two. So I took this to the concert. That was St. Anger tour. Yeah, St. Anger tour. So I took that to the show, front row on the rail, and you know the Lars's drum kit rotated. So I'm holding up that green shirt, and like Lars. That's where they were closing, I think, with Seek and Destroy or something. So Lars finished Sandman, did like the last cymbal hit, and stood up and came like walking to the edge. And he saw the shirt and he's like, and so I tossed it to him. And he's like, where did you get this? I don't want to be like, oh, I bought it on eBay.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I got it from my uncle. And he's like, wow, this is old. And I'm like, can you sign it for me? And he like looks at me and he's like, yeah, I'll just sign for everybody here.
Yeah.
But then so I tossed him up a Sharpie, and so he signed this shirt like right on the stage, like right after Sandman in Columbus. So that was super cool.
That is
Very
really cool.
Yeah. And that's like it's one of those things like whatever. It's my story, nobody else's story. So to somebody else, it probably has no meaning. But to me, it's like, dude, like I remember that. Then he came over at the end of the show, and was like looking for me, and then like. Threw me a drumstick. Things like, whatever, it's my story, nobody else's story. So to somebody else, it probably has no meaning. But to me, it's like, dude, like, I remember that. Then he came over at the end of the show and was like looking for me and then like threw me a drumstick.
That's so
Handed me a drumstick. Yeah. What was it? The Load Tour. They did Cleveland was one night. And then they added a second show the next night. Well, then the afternoon of the second show day, they did like what they call a coffee break concert that they went to like a local club and played on the radio.
Wow.
And they broadcast it live, which is super cool, but I couldn't get in because I was like 16 or 17. He had to be 18, and it was in the middle of the day, so I had school. But like it's a super cool recording, which I bet you I'll probably put like in the box set or something. But like so yeah, this is like one of the ticket stubs. Which like these are like dude, I've been searching for this since 1997 and I just got it like a year ago. Yeah. Yeah, that yeah, that was the Cleveland 83 show.
Wow.
Oh, no, that was 83.
I don't think we found Pete's.
That was 83, that was Cleveland 85. So yeah, this goes to that show. This one goes to that show with Wasp. This one was Cleveland when they opened for Ozzy. It's cool, like you know, like all I don't know, like all this stuff is just like the autograph stuff. You know, like
So cool.
Like, I got those. I got my photo, and I got that signature. You know, I got that. You know, like, I don't know. It's all the stuff that kind of just, like, maybe means something to me. It might not be the most valuable, some of the stuff. Like, that photo slash, like, I took that photo, and then when I went to see him, like, a year or two later.
That's a really good picture.
Like, I had him sign that. Like,
it's a really good picture.
My photo, and he signed it, and it's super cool. Like,
and Carrie King. That's cool. So cool.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like that was signed in Cleveland in '83. Cool. It's cool. It's, you know, it's like.
He signed his whole name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like '83. The '83 signatures are probably my favorite because, yeah, dude, they were like.
Because they haven't figured it out yet.
Yep.
They're still babies. Aw, you and Brandon. Aw.
Then it's like Slayer autographed baseball by the whole band from when they were in Cleveland. At that record store I told you about. They did it in store.
I want to get a Metallica one. That is.
The Metallica ones are super, like, somebody from the club, Joey, actually helped me get that.
I do want that.
So those are super cool signed. Then Pantera signed ball from when they were also at the same record store.
These are the Budweisers we have. Yep. We have these two.
Yeah,
we have two of
them.
them.
Same as those. Those are sealed cases.
Sealed.
Gene Simmons Halloween costume from like the 70s. And I bought like this Gene Simmons meet and greet. It was way cheaper than what they normally are. It was like $200 or something. And then we get there and I find out it was basically a photo op. You couldn't get anything signed. I asked Gene, I'm like, dude, can you sign for me? And he's like, I'm not allowed. They won't let me. So I was pissed. And so I emailed like all these people and people in charge and genesimmons.com. Yeah. They wrote me back. They're like, Jason, Gene feels horrible. He'll make it up to you. Are you coming to any other Kiss shows or Gene solo shows? I'm like, well, I'm going to go to Kiss in Niagara Falls. They're like, all right, well, Gene would like to meet you and sign your stuff.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So I called my buddy Ted. I'm like, dude, let's go. So we drove up to Niagara Falls and like, dude, I took like, it's like a miniature like video game controller of like the Gene Simmons bass.
Oh, that's
But I could never afford the real one, so I had him sign that. Like I'm like, dude, I want it signed in red. Wow. So I got Gene to sign that for me. And then like,
it's so nice to hear that he was like that nice.
Gene Simmons is like Lars.
Yeah.
Super cool with the fans. He gets a bad rap, but he's super cool. But yeah, then I had the Halloween costume from like the 70s. And I had it opened. I wanted Gene to sign it on his forehead, but he signed the box. And I'm like, oh, can you sign the mask? He's like, oh, yeah. So then he signed the mask.
Oh, my God. That's
so now I'm going to get like I want to find another costume, or at least another mask, and frame the mask by itself. And
then put that mask with the
So then I had the signed box.
Right. And then the signed mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I'm like, dude, even all the times I met Kiss a few times, I'm like, dude, I'm meeting Kiss. Like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So you get like all this shit signed, like that photo of me and Gene. Like I have a mini one signed in my upstairs that he signed in red that same day he did this. I'm like, all right, I got like 20 Kiss things signed. I'm like,
that's so cool.
And then like White Zombie, Sean from White Zombie is like obviously like my like. So like, dude, like I've met her a few times, and so it was always like, the one time I had like half of my records, and she's like, oh yeah, I'll sign them all.
She's really pretty. And
then the next time I had more stuff, and she's like, oh yeah, I'll sign all these for you. And I didn't even share the bass guitars I have signed by her upstairs, but like, yeah, she signed my bass guitar, and she's like, oh, can I get a photo with you? So I'm like, oh yeah, let's do this.
That's cool. She sounds sweet.
I told you about like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame program. So like that was the Metallica years.
Oh, that's cool.
Same thing. I asked somebody outside. I'm like, dude, can I buy that program off of you? Because they don't sell them to the public.
Right.
And some old lady's like, here, you know what? I have an extra one. Just take mine.
Aww.
So she gave me the program, and so when I named the tour, the Sick of the Studio tour, I waited till 2009 to redeem it. So me and Brandon did it in Cincinnati. I got to take Brandon. I got to take a guest to the meet and greet.
Oh, that's cool.
So I took my program and had them all sign it. So it's cool because it's signed in 2009.
That's a cool
same year of the induction.
Right.
And then when I told you I had that pass for the Fillmore, that was when I took to San Francisco with me. So I went back to the hotel, got my pass, and had Newstead sign it in 2011.
Oh, okay.
That is a cool item to have signed because there's not many.
Yeah. But it's so funny because like James, I think Rob came out first. and then James came out. So like James like signed it like real small in the corner, trying to be all nice. You know, like Kirk signs like
over James's face.
Yeah. And then, you know, Jason signs by himself. And then there's Lars. Like, look how fucking big. But I'm like...
Lars, I remember he did that with Kendall
and he signed right on her face.
That's Lars.
Why?
They say, hey, Lars, can you sign the picture of this little girl? And he signed it right on her face.
So, like, these are, like, White Zombie's first ever... When they were, like, a local band in New York, like, in 1985. So they only printed, like, 300 copies of them. They were like, dude, we couldn't even sell them, so they gave away maybe 100. Sean took half, Rob took the other half, so they each had 100. Oh. But I needed those because like, I never had those. Those are the hardest ones to get. So I bought this one from Rob. Rob sold a few of his on eBay, so I bought that from Rob and later had him sign it. But then I bought this one from Sean's private collection, and so she autographed that one for me. But it's funny because it's like they print them all by hand, so his are like a little green, hers are like a little blue.
I was trying to see if they're the same.
Yeah, it's the same record, but it's crazy because it's like they did them all by hand, and yeah.
And you could really tell when I'm at this angle that one's green and one's blue.
Yeah, but like that one came from Rob's collection, that came from Sean's collection, and then like that was like another like their second 7-inch, and they both signed it.
That's cool.
Yeah, all the way up till they got famous. That was signed by Pantera at that record store down the street. Pointed out, like, it's got that sign there.
That's cool.
Got this, that was signed. Like, the last time I saw them, everybody came out except for Phil. And then the one time I saw Phil a few years ago, finally had Phil sign it for me. But, nice dime bag signatures.
Yeah. That's cool. And you got a drumstick.
Not from that one. That was from that drumstick. I think it's from Andrew WK. I do have a Vinnie Paul drumstick up here.
Oh, that's cool with the cattle skull.
So the cattle skull was from I don't have it down here. One of their albums, Stampede, with like all these bulls on the cover. So that was like one of those like VIP promo items that they sold. So I bought it because I thought the skull was cool.
Yeah.
Then I went to go see him, and me and my brother were driving looking for somewhere to park, and we saw the whole band like walking down the street. I'm like, dude, there's Vinnie Paul. Hold on! And I like I jumped out of the car in the middle of the street, and I went up to Vinnie Paul, and he signed that for me like right on the street.
That's so
And I'm
cool.
like, dude, I'm done. I don't even care about I just wanted Vinnie on it.
That's
so
cool.
yeah.
That's perfect with the drumstick.
Yeah. Super, super cool, yeah. And then we got the drumstick that night at the show. He threw it out and my brother caught it. It like went right between us. Well, he got it, so he's like...
Oh, that was sweet of your brother.
Yeah, that was like... they chopped up one of Vinnie's cymbals from the Pantera tour, and they made like those like little necklaces out of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That was my first Metallica drumstick.
Aw, what show?
That was the Columbus show where I got the green t-shirt signed.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, Columbus of 04. And like I said, it's funny because like those are like the guitar picks I collected all those shows and like whatever. Like I'm not trading and I just that one's signed, like 83 signed. Yeah, I don't know. Super crazy. I like adding new stuff down here and
yeah. This is so cool. You have fun, baby?
Yeah.
Did it make you want to organize our stuff?
Oh, I got a pinball machine there.